What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another very exciting episode right here on the My Gardener channel. Today I got a really unique episode planned for you guys, and it involves an electric toothbrush and our tomatoes. Let's get into it. So it is just an absolutely amazing day out today. It's like 72 degrees. It is super beautiful out. There's a slight breeze, beautiful cloud cover. Everyone is out. The whole place is abuzz with activity. And it's just another reason why I love living in Michigan. It's just such a great day out today. And for how humid the summers can be and how freezing cold the winters can be, it is days like this that remind me this is exactly why I love living in Michigan. So I hope you guys are enjoying your weather and your gardens wherever you're at. We're having a great one today, and so hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this episode. So what do I have planned for you guys today? Well, like I alluded to in the beginning, we're going to be talking about how we utilize an electric toothbrush to increase our pollination to near 100%. This is an incredible topic that has been utilized for probably 5-7 years now by the tomato growing industry, but it's one that we kind of just got around to because, well, I like to see things actually work in practice before I bring them out to people and before I waste my time trying them myself. And after talking to quite a few people, they said, no, you really do have to try this. This is an amazing method that really, truly does work. And so we're gonna get into kind of why it works first, and then I'll show you some results, and then I'll show you how to do it. So that way you can see the method behind it, the results behind it, and then how to do it. That way it's kind of reverse from how we normally do things, because sometimes I like to see the proof already in the pudding so that my mind is like, okay, this really does work. So the reason why this works is because the electric toothbrush produces micro vibrations. A bee's wings produce micro vibrations as well. These micro vibrations are little supersonic waves of vibration because their wings beat thousands of times per minute, and they're so fast that these little vibrations create shock waves, and the shock waves shake the flower, resulting in pollen dropping down. And what they do with the pollen is they gather on their legs, they stick it in their pollen sacs on their back legs, and then they use it as a food source. And so bees will often pollinate flowers that are rich in pollen to gather food. And the electric toothbrush does exactly the same thing. The vibrations, as you can hear, is just a hum. It's because it vibrates so fast that you really can't even hear the tick and the tock between the two vibrations. It's just so fast. It's just and it sounds much like a bee's wings. And that is why this thing works. It is so incredible. Now, the reason why we have to use manual forms of pollination in the garden is because bees are just not as prevalent as they used to be. Also, even when bees are prevalent in the garden, they really don't prefer to come to things like Solanense crops, eggplants, peppers, tomatoes, and stuff like that, because the pollen is just not as rich in protein, carbohydrates, and abundance as other flowers. They can go to a squash blossom and get 25-40 times more pollen than a tomato blossom with 10 times less effort. It's just all right there in one flower. It's far more rich in pollen. They can go to a flower like lavender or clover and get nectar, which is rich in sugars, and the flowers on the tomatoes just don't have that. There's actually relatively very little pollen found on tomato flowers, and that's why it's kind of the last resort for food for a lot of pollinators. And so you can get pollination, pollinators will visit them, but they really won't get a whole lot of pollination from external sources. The most pollination they actually get is from the wind, and that's, you leave your plants to their own devices, you'll get about probably 10 to 15% fruit set just by doing nothing at all. If a bee visits, that's where you have the most benefit because of that vibration knocking the pollen down onto the female portions of the flower. That's where you get incredible amounts of success with fruit set, but it's only when the insects decide to pollinate your flowers that happens. So without it, you have anywhere between 10 and about 30% pollination at its highest without any help at all. In years past, we've used a Q-tip to swab some of the pollen. That increased pollination by about 25%. And then we had bug flew in my eye there. Whew, Then we had a video about a year or two back about using your fingers to actually increase pollination. And then we got about 75% fruit set using that method. And you can only vibrate your fingers so fast to really simulate a bee. You just can't go in much faster than that. And so that got us about 75% of the way there. Utilizing this method, like you'll see, we got near 100% fruit set. It is just by far the best method we've ever came across. And so, yeah, I really want to show you guys it. And I also want to thank the people in the tomato growing industry for getting innovative and trying something that's unique and kind of weird and quirky and out there, because, you know, hey, now I get to bring it to you guys and it helps grow more food in less space. All right, let's check it out. There's a what? There's a bird in the garden? Get it out. Good job. Good job. So here you have a tomato, 100% fruit set. Every single flower formed fruit. Here's the next truss up. Every single flower formed fruit. Here's the next truss. Every single flower formed fruit. And the next truss, every single flower formed fruit. And the next truss, every single flower formed fruit. The next truss just got done flowering, and as you can see, well, there's fruit forming, but you know, it's hard to see. But basically, when the flowers fall off and the tomato, if the tomato is properly pollinated, the flowers will not fall off. If the flower is not properly pollinated, the actual flower will fall off at the knuckle. And since none of them are falling off, it's pretty safe to say 100% pollination has taken place here. Same thing with the pie tomato. 100% pollination. Coming up to the next truss. 100% pollination. 100% pollination. What do you think? She loves it. She's getting ready for ballet. 100% pollination. 100% pollination. And 100% pollination. Our gold nugget tomatoes. We've harvested a lot of these tomatoes down here, but as you can see, just incredible fruit set. I mean, near 100% pollination on every single truss. It's just the best method I've ever come across. Here's this is the Hartman's yellow gooseberry. Near 100% on every single blossom. Here's the green zebra. Look at the clusters. I mean, just look at the clusters. Look at the clusters. It's just amazing. Near 100% fruit set on every single truss of flowers. Here's the Marion tomato. 100% fruit set on every single truss of tomatoes. Look at that one. I mean, just look at that one. My word. Look at this. It's just astounding. Did you get a tomato?
Yeah.
It even works here with the Tess's landrace currant. The Tess's landrace currant, near 100% fruit set on every single blossom. Here's the alpaca. Every single blossom. This is just the most production we've ever had in our entire career of growing a garden, our entire time ever growing a garden for that matter. Before we made it our career, when we were hobbyists, we've never grown this many tomatoes. It's just astounding. Here's the azoichka. Every single flower. Every single flower.
And here's one tomato. Tomato.
Every single flower. So all we want to do is just take the back of the toothbrush, hold the flower so it stays steady, and set the back of the toothbrush right above the flower, and then just turn it on. And I can actually see pollen falling from the flower. The camera won't be able to pick it up, it's so small, but I can see it. It's just like little bits of fairy dust falling around. So it's really simple just to go through here and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to show you up close with one of the Gold Rush currants. So again, all we do, just right above the flower. Hold it there for about 5 seconds. I guarantee you those will set fruit. So that's really all there is to increasing your production to near 100% fruit set. This is just by far the most incredible method that I've ever used, and seeing how much fruit we got this year, I'm completely sold on this method. It's so simple, it is so easy, and like I said, it's pretty readily accessible. I mean, you can buy these things for fairly cheap. I mean, 20, 25 bucks for an inexpensive one, and you're gonna grow definitely more than $25 in tomatoes from the amount that you're gonna get from this. So it's a worthwhile investment. I'll post a link to the Philips Sonicare in the description box below if you wanna get this one. By no means is this a sponsored video, it's just what I've been using, and it results in an incredible amount of tomatoes. And by the way, I use this on medium strength. There's 3 strength lights. I use this on the second bar just because the first bar was a little too crazy, I feared, but I haven't tried it, so I'm not 100% sure. But I just use it on the second bar, and it seems to work incredibly well. So if you guys decide to try this, let me know in the comments box below. If you guys have ever used this method before and you notice how it worked, let me know, good or bad. Let me know in the comments box below. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something new. If you did enjoy, make sure to throw a like up there, subscribe if you're not yet already, and we'll catch you all tomorrow. All right, grow big or go home, everyone. Bye.